Hi, how you doing? I wanted to do a quick video that went over the benefits that we talked about for a mobile app, and I appreciate that you guys kind of taking the time to learn more and figure out if it's a good solution for you guys. So a little bit of a backstory about myself and our family. So we were a digital marketing agency for the past 8 years, and we've been working over the past 4 years to develop a mobile app solution platform for both our clients and existing and new clients. It was a need that was out there, and we were very proud to introduce that platform. So that's the application for schools came about. Our daughter's 6 and in the first grade, so we've moved through three different schools and 2 different school districts. During that time, we started out in Hamilton Wentworth, and then moved to a Halton School District school, and then now we're back in Hamilton at Wentworth. What we found to be pretty consistent was just a little bit more need from us, from a parenting standpoint, for a communication platform that was consistent, that wasn't necessarily just subject to the teacher, but was a good communication tool that we could depend on for everything from day to day, planning stuff. Hey, this is wacky hat day, tomorrow's pizza day, don't forget your money. Or, hey, the school's closed today. We had that happen yesterday with an ice storm event. So we were sitting there this year, and we've been, kind of with the platforms and the business that we're involved in, we said, the school needs an app. And my wife kind of said it jokingly, that we kind of looked at each other and said, they really do, in the sense of that communication tool. We looked around at every single one of the parents. They're all sitting there staring at their phones constantly every day. How do you leverage that communication and kind of more of a current way to communicate? We saw that school systems would have a phone dialing option where they would call maybe the house and alert, or there'd be an email solution where it's sending out emails every day. But we're looking at, what are your open rates on those? Are they going to junk? When realistically, with a mobile app, you're almost looking at 100% open rate, because you're getting a push notification, kind of akin to a text message. So we started this conversation internally with us, and then we started to reach out and said, this really is a solution for schools and school systems. So what does it kind of address? The communication we just talked about was the key driver for it. So that communication tool where it's saying, hey, you can get alerts, just general school alerts about events and happenings. And then you could actually dive down deeper and create a situation where individual classes, teachers could speak just to specific groups, their own parental groups. Even if you get up in, if students are having phones and downloading apps, you can talk to those as well involved in the classes, to sports groups, you can kind of take it as far as you want, segmenting who and where you communicate with. So you identify those users, they come in, you dump them into the certain sleeves they're going into or groups, and then communicate that way. You can send anything you want on a push notification. It shows up very similar to a text message, and then once the user clicks that screen, it goes to wherever you want. So it could go to in-app, an in-app feature like a fan wall, pictures of people that are sharing about the school or a specific event in the app. It can go to a URL. It could also go to a flyer, say that the school is doing. You could put it under events, but you could also have a separate flyer. I know we get them at our house. Something. Go to the school's trying to raise money. Go to this dance, pay X amount of dollars. I know it gets added to school cash, but promoting it via the app with some graphic. So there's a lot of ways to really leverage the technology, and also leverage the way that your users or community, meaning parents and students, teachers, even setting up a group with them, how internally they're communicating. It's right on their phone, so it's native and mobile. That's one of the big benefits, is the communication portion. When we took the next steps and we actually sat down with some school administrators and principals, try to get their feedback on how they saw it and viewed it. The other really big benefit was the security and kind of closed network that a mobile app creates. You have a situation where a school wants to share photos. So they want to share photos. What are they doing? They're leveraging Twitter, they're leveraging Facebook, even on closed accounts. They're uploading photos about school or events. It's really out there in the world. Even with a closed Twitter account, I can still take that photo if I'm a user and then subsequently share it, or Facebook and subsequently share it. An app creates a secure network for you where you can create a fan wall or internally in the app and share and have that kind of native community in the app that stays in the app, meaning that it's not getting out, it's not sharing, and that when you create an app, you create password protected. Like if I, as a parent, got a notification from the school board that my XYZ school had an app, I would have to sign up for it, create a username and password to get the app and access it. The school approves it and then puts me in my slots. I'm a parent. I'm also in XYZ first graders class, whatever slots that I'm in. So I need a username and password. So you're validating who's using the app. It's a closed structure. It's not open, hey, I download the app and get full access. You need a username and password to access it. It creates a closed community. So that communication where it's that issue with, from a parental standpoint, hey, you're taking photos of my child, or my child's doing XYZ, and you're sharing them out there, and then we lose control of how that information is being shared. Closing that community so it's a twofold. You have the communication portion where it's a great vehicle as a complement to existing website updates, your email marketing campaign, but it's a really tactful way to impact someone right here on their phone with an open rate that would go from, as a school, I would say 30 to 40%. That's a really good open rate to almost 100% in the communication. So there's a communication portion. The second portion is the security portion, where you're creating a closed network environment, where you're creating an environment where you can share and exchange information, photos, events, everything native about the school to its community that you define by username and password to get access to the app. It's not something that they can get access to. So I hope there's some good information in here. It's a good starting point to further the conversation about this. And we appreciate feedback, and we're open to any and all discussions about next steps or making something work for both individual schools and the school board as a whole. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.